Well, as you hopefully all know now, YouTube is trying to take us out of business by recently taking away a major revenue from this organization and fully demonetizing this channel. Now, why did they do this? Well, according to them, our content is somehow harmful to viewers. Yes, and that's why in this video, me and my team have made a compilation highlight video of our predictions, of our warnings, and our reporting on this entire crisis going all the way back to January 21st of this year. This video is going to be extremely eye-opening. It starts out a little slow, but then the edits keep coming in later on. But I want you to compare what we were reporting all the way back then, January 21st, compare that to what the government, the mainstream media, the Surgeon General, and the World Health Organization have been doing in that time, because they've been caught lying. They were telling you that this is the flu. They were telling you, don't wear masks. Again, the World Health Organization was telling you even that there was no person-to-person transmission of this, and them, along with the mainstream media, were more interested in playing race politics. Now, of course, the mainstream media is promoted by YouTube, while the World Health Organization is the one that now determines what is misinformation, what you get to see and not see on Google, which directly, of course, affects YouTube. And while all of this is happening, we get attacked. Seriously, what you're about to see will be absolutely surprising. And I really want you to think at the end of this video why this is happening. Before we play you the clips, I sincerely want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart for supporting us on wearechange.org/donate or patreon.com/wearechange. The links will be down below, and your support is more crucial than it ever has been. Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for supporting us and somehow allowing us to still exist. Now, here are the clips that YouTube deems harmful to you. Humanity has always faced the dangers of disease. In 1720, humanity faced the plague. In 1820, they faced the cholera outbreak. In 1920, they faced the flu epidemic, and the information we're getting that allegedly 10,000 people have been infected and 17 died from this new strain of virus, which I think should be treated very seriously. It's a SARS-like disease that has already spread to Taiwan, Thailand, South Korea, Japan, and we already are seeing the first confirmed case in the United States on Tuesday. A lot of this is causing a lot of fear and pandemonium, as of course there are major shortages of food in the city that this virus came out of, Wuhan, which is also being quarantined. And we have panicked situations with people fighting in grocery stores over basic food items, as of course many people are panicking about what will happen next. And when you look at the pictures coming out of China, they definitely portray a very dramatic situation unfolding. Everyone is on high alert about this virus that could mutate and cause more destruction and more death. Still, travel is available from China to the United States. This, of course, also has very severe global economic impacts. But again, many, of course, are worried that the Chinese are significantly underplaying this outbreak. And when it comes to deadly outbreaks, diseases, and viruses and plagues, I think it's always better to be more concerned over them and to take them seriously than not, especially if you look at the history of human existence, which has dealt with a lot of viruses and diseases that many times have a very severe effect on human existence. And the worst one recorded in human history was, of course, the Black Death that happened in 1937. And even though I read off in the beginning of this video the plagues that happened every 100 years, still important to note here that some of the biggest plagues, of course, do not just happen every 100 years, but they are more common than we would think of, especially the latest one that affected especially people in the United States in 1918, and that was the flu pandemic that killed 3% of the world's population. And it is even estimated, because record keeping wasn't as effective, that this flu pandemic killed more people than World War I and World War II. But something to consider since the latest pandemic over 100 years ago is the fact that there was no commercial air travel or factory farming on the scales and large proportions that there is now in 1918. Chronic disease wasn't as common and increasing as it is now, which according even to the CDC has risen from 12% in 1989 to 54% in our current day. Now, when you think about that and just how governments are absolutely incompetent and many times can't even fix the roads, as well as the fact that during the latest H1N1 virus scare, where many governments actually held onto vaccines instead of giving them out, there's a lot to worry about it. Personally, when it comes to pandemics and understanding a little bit of history behind it, I always lean on the side of taking it seriously, and most importantly, just doing small things to prevent the spread of disease, which I think we all should know about. According to many, Chinese officials have been gravely underplaying and covering up the significance of the big Beijing government that, again, was arresting people who were warning people about this virus all the way in December. Journalists who literally filmed the wet market where this allegedly all came from had their pictures and videos deleted and were imprisoned for telling you about this. Videos, photos, eyewitness testimony from Wuhan and other parts of China are being automatically deleted, and a lot of the information is still being censored, and this is why we should always be prepared for the worst. Hell, get one of these freaking masks. I mean, traveling in Asia, even though you may think that these are kind of insignificant, I don't understand, why the hell people are frickin' coughing, showing up to work sick, not washing their hands still. I don't understand this. And in Asia, these masks, are very popular, and I think they should be popular also here in the United States. Just a lot less of trade, which some people are fearing could trigger the black swan event of an economic calamity. It's common sense to always be ready for everything and to simply take small steps. Even if some idiot thinks they're racist, taking those small steps to prevent any disease and virus from spreading. And take care of your immune system, supplement. A lot of people are taking this very seriously, which they should. It's always better to be safer than sorry, as of course there are completely almost empty streets in, of course, Wuhan and many other cities in China that have been hit by this new virus. There's also a run on masks, specifically the N95 masks that are very difficult to purchase, have been sold out, with many accusations of people hoarding them or selling them at a very high profit. This virus is spreading, and it could mutate, and it could have even more of a horrendous effect on everybody. Don't panic. Prepare for the worst. In China, where drones are literally flying around and telling people to put on their masks, go home, and to wash their hands. So the government gaining a lot of authority is one thing we have to look after. The second thing we have to look after is, of course, the economy. With more travel restrictions and with more people being afraid, there definitely looks like there could be even a potential black swan event that could have a very bad negative effect on a lot of people. And of course, be prepared yourself as an individual, especially if you are elderly or immune compromised. 6 people have officially died in Italy. There is a lot of panic buying in grocery stores, with many commonly used items being just wiped clean from supermarkets, including, of course, Nutella. Checkpoints have been established all throughout the country. If you put your faith in government to solve this, you're going to have a very bad time. During a press conference where the Iranian government was telling its citizens not to worry, not to panic, and that everything is under control, and that they will certainly defeat the coronavirus, their own deputy health minister, as he was saying that, looked extremely unwell, sweaty, and feverish. And then later on, he was diagnosed with the coronavirus. Yeah, that definitely isn't reassuring, as of course the Chinese government, the American government, specifically Donald Trump, have been saying, don't worry, everything's fine here. And whenever a government agency or agent says that, you should be skeptical of them. Have some basic supplies ready at home, and the best way to safeguard yourself from that is by having people close to you that are also smart and prepared, and will not only be able to take care of themselves, but also lend a helping hand. It's having, a little bit of storable food, a little bit of rice, a little bit of beans, a little bit of water also tucked away. It doesn't really cost you much, and also it's a smart thing to do. What you're watching right now is officially Chinese government state-funded media promoting the idea that you should hug random Chinese tourists that just came from China in order to fight bigotry, racism, and the corrupt. Why are you taking off their masks? Why are you taking off this person's mask? What the hell is wrong with these people? And this was an official idea initially promoted by the mayor of Florence earlier in February. Still would suggest you have a little bit of water, a little bit of food set that is storable, that you could put away, that could be established, that could be ready to feed you and your family. Holy shiz. And the panic buying and hoarding has officially begun. Holy cow, do we have a lot of bad financial news coming in right now. If we don't get a grip on this thing, if we don't take proactive measures, if this thing gets out of hand, that the government will have more of an excuse to intervene and have more control of our lives. It's really our own responsibility. It's really our own independence. It's our own ability to take care of each other that will prevent more government intervention. Virginia governor that now is making the attendance of church a criminal offense. In other countries like Spain and other local jurisdictions, even here, we are seeing government enforcing complete, total lockdowns, even with police officers issuing very heavy penalties and fines for simply being outside or even being in your car. In the United States, within the last 24 hours, there have been 1,497 deaths recorded from the sickness going around, the highest in a single day in any country so far, and hospitals are preparing for. As those numbers are expected to rise, the world has just passed 1 million people who have tested positive to this. We had government telling you masks don't work, now they're saying they do work. A lot of this could have been avoided, and now they're arresting people for driving in their own car, paddle boarding, all the which while, of course, exposing people to the sickness, enforcing asinine laws like going after people who are alone in nature. So yeah, that's just some of our reporting going all the way back from the very beginning of this. By the way, feel free to watch the entire playlist. It will be available also in the description below. So far, moving forward, again, I'm a very stubborn Polish person, and I don't give up that easily. I'm gonna hopefully still be able to maintain some of the people that I'm working with. Again, your support is more crucial than ever. Thank you so much. It might also help to reach out to @TeamYouTube, but of course I don't have many hopes for that happening. These are very difficult times for everyone, and it just seems just especially cruel to do this now, especially during the uncertainty of it all. But again, we're fighters, and we're going to keep fighting for you, mainly because without you, we wouldn't be here. This is why. Love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on We Are Change.org before they delete this channel and totally make sure that you can't get any information outside of CNN.